What's going on, guys? We got a really high level game right here. This is a World Cup US East vs Spain, the tiebreaker set. These two teams played. They tied. We're on to the tiebreaker set. Best of 3. US East won the first game. This is the second game. DPP OU. That's between two of the best to ever do it. BKC versus M-Dragon. BKC, of course, representing US East on the left side. M-Dragon, who's under the usual alt of M-Dragon, is on the right side, representing Spain. No team preview in DPP OU, so we're just going to do it. Also, I sound really tired and lethargic. I just got done narrating this game, but then my mic decided to die on me, so, you know, kind of tired, but we'll just let it rock out, and we'll see how it goes. So BKC is going to lead with Zapdos right here, as M-Dragon is going to lead Dragonite. Kind of funny that he does that. I think M-Dragon likes Dragonite too, so he's going to switch out of here, scouting for HP Ice. Pretty standard stuff. Zapdos should almost always carry HP Ace in this generation. Sometimes they carry HP Grass, but those sets are really not good because losing to Gliscor is way worse than losing to Swampert, when Gliscor is usually tougher to beat. So BKC is going to go ahead and reveal U-Turn right here, showing us that he's not a choice variant. He's probably that magnet set. Could be some like lead lefty set, but I kind of doubt it. Because those usually carry like 3 attacks Roost or something, or like 2 attacks Toxic Roost, or 2 attacks T-Wave Roost. I don't know, so I guess I'm thinking he's Magnet. We'll see here though. So T-Tar comes in, or Bronzong comes in on T-Tar. T-Tar reveals to us that it's a utility variant. Clefable wanted to switch out of there to not take a Bantar move, which, by the way, Bantar's picking up a ton of popularity in ORAS. Bantar is so good in DPP, but nobody uses it. Damn shame. I think it's just as good in DPP as it is in ORAS right now. Maybe it doesn't have as much utility for the stuff that it can trap, because there's no Lotties and stuff for it to trap. But Bantar is just such a good wall breaker. But anyways, that's not even what BKC is. He's a utility variant, and then the Gentleman's Pact happens, and they can exchange rocks, and now Berlin comes in. And so M-Dragon is gonna decide to put Dragonite to sleep. We'll see if it has Sleep Talk or not. Sometimes the banned sets do carry Sleep Talk, but it's very rare. I honestly expected when he sent this in to be like lead Lumberry and just come in and absorb the sleep with a Lumberry. But we actually do see that it's Sleep Talk, so that's nice. It's a neat little tech. Just point that out. I was using that set all the way back in like 2013, so I'll take credit for that set again. Just another classic no-name innovation. No, that's not my innovation at all. That's just like, oh, Breloom is actually relevant in this metagame, and it's actually a threat. So here's some tech to counteract Breloom, even though that's really difficult to do, because that's a shame. When DPP was active, like, Breloom was one of those, it was like one of those mid-level OUs. Like, what would be a good example of that? Like, Conkeldurr in 5th gen OU, but it's actually so good. But anyways, BKC's going to try test his luck versus this Bronzong. He's going to show us that he's the physically defensive Wish Calm mindset, is evidenced by how well he takes that EQ, and for the fact that he has Wish. Bronzong has no leftovers, and that EQ also doesn't do enough damage for it to be like Macho Brace. So it could be Lumberry, it could be Akaberry. I'd suspect it could even be Custap Berry, honestly. Custap Berry makes the most sense, because it's not a lead Bronzong, and that set's bad, by the way, don't use it. But lead Bronzong's usually the only one that carries a Lum. He has Dragonite, T-Tar, he has Dragonite and T-Tar, Clefable, which, even though it's not a fire resist, it takes special hits pretty well. And the only other one is Infernape, which decimates all those things anyway. Decimates Bronzong too, and then he has his own Infernape, as you guys just see right there. So he said after the game that it's Akaberry. I kind of dismiss that. I think it's Custap. I don't know. If it gets down to like low health or something, then we'll see who's right and who's wrong. And it's actually not. If it's not Custap, like I said, I don't remember if the thing gets low. But Custap to me would make the most sense. If I was looking at this team at this point in the game and I had to say what item does Bronzong have, I would say Custap Berry. But that's just me. So BKC is going to reveal to us a new mon in the form of Heatran. Tyranitar is in here. BKC is going to switch out because he probably doesn't have a move to KO. He doesn't know too much information about the T-Tar. I think it was revealed to us a little bit earlier in the game that it was a Scarf Tar. I probably was rambling about some other stupid shit, but I kind of remember saying this the first time I narrated that it was a Scarf Tar. But like I said, that I'm just, like I said, I already did this one time, so I'm kind of just talking about dumb shit this time. Because that's what I do. So anyways, Superpower comes down. So BKC's not Sub Punch, he's not Lead Seed Breloom. He's Superpower, usually they carry Mach Punch, and then some coverage move between Seed Bomb, Facade, or Stone Edge. So Spore 3 attacks. Max attack, well not exactly max attack, it has the 8 HP for some Toxic Orb number. And then max speed with Jolly. M-Dragon gets a nasty crit right there. That's pretty bad considering that BKC definitely does not like Stealth Rock on his side of the field. And that's it. Well, he can handle it, but Heatran gets worn down, T-Tar gets worn down, Zapdos especially gets worn down. And Nix ends up winning a Speed Tie right there to kill Starmie. Now, I don't know if that was necessarily the best move for him to make to clear hazards for Zapdos, considering that killing Starmie and preventing M-Dragon from spinning his own rocks may have been better considering how much Stealth Rock affects M-Dragon's side of the field. And wearing down Infernape, having to switch on rocks, take Life Orb damage. Wearing down Dragonite especially because that's the one big counter that he has left to Breloom. Obviously, Clefable and Bronzong don't really care about it, but he has Breloom with Superpower, and Clefable is a normal this gen, so Superpower destroys it. And Superpower does, I think, like 60 to Bronzong. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on the spread. I don't know. I think it's like 60. So, I think that maybe trying to rest the Speed Tie and just deciding to kill Starmie may have been better, but at the same time, if M-Dragon went to Clefable, then getting the Rapid Spin off probably would have been better if he went to Clefable, so that play makes sense. They do a couple of basic things right here, and now M-Dragon's gonna force Breloom out and make a pretty ballsy but worth it play to go for Rapid Spin, and there's no way that BKC stays in right there, because the Starmie can probably live the Mach Punch, or if it can't live Mach Punch, then, well, it's like BKC doesn't know the set. All he knows is that I went for Hydro Pump, so he can't really risk the Starmie having Bulk and living Mach Punch, or just at living Mach Punch naturally. Again, I don't know that calc off the top of my head. But I'd imagine that Starmie probably doesn't take too much, because Toxic or Poison Heal Mach Punch and Breloom isn't that strong. The Technician boost is pretty big. So anyways, Bronzong gets Rocks up. He's going to switch out of there, go to Infernape. And this is kind of, well, no, he just switched in Infernape. Never mind. I was going to say that this is what makes me kind of hesitant to believe that that was actually Ockerberry Bronzong. Because he switches out of there, more than likely fearing Fire Blast, but he probably just doesn't want to get worn down. So maybe, like, if it was Custap, he had no reason, like, to not, well, I mean, if it was Fire Blast too, then, yeah, Infernape. I'm just rambling. I'm rambling at this point. Like I said, this narration is going to sound lethargic, it's going to sound all over the place. Kind of a disservice to the game, but it's whatever. So anyways, BKC has Heatran right here. It's Scarf Train more than likely, just to point out. But Fire Blast, he gets 2 misses right there. Even if it was Ockerberry, that doesn't matter, because I think a min is like 56 with Fire Blast and Ockerberry. So, like I said, Team Spain was saying that it was Ockerberry to try and justify the misses, and that only one of them needed to miss, but like I said, I'm not buying it, and then Superpower just takes it down. So my Custap theory is still right, that it's Custap Bronzong. Or it still has potential. I don't know if it's right or not. But yeah, Bronzong is able to go down, but what it means is that Heatran has to go down instead. And BKC, you'll see later in the game, him having Heatran would have been very, very nice. So M-Dragon makes a neat little play right here, goes Infernape, and then baits in Zapdos. Because the thing is that even though Heatran died right there, BKC still is in a good position to win. Because of the fact that he has Breloom, and Breloom is so good versus M-Dragon's team. So he goes to Infernape right there to force Breloom out of there. No way that Breloom stays in. And then this way he can get a Rapid Spin off for the Dragonite, which helps him deal with Breloom just that much better. Or as better as he can. Now, if the Dragonite is adamant, which it more than likely is, and if BKC's Breloom has Stone Edge, then BKC is still in a really good spot. It needs to get more damage on this Infernape though. I don't remember what the exact number is for Mach Punch, but I think it's... I want to say it's like 28 to 33. So he can technically take out Hemdragon with a Mach Punch. And hold on, I'm going to pause this really quick because both these guys actually make a really neat little play this turn. But yeah, BKC can't take out, or he can, but it's a very high roll to take out Infernape with a Mach Punch. So hold on, I'm going to get to the right spot. This is probably both these players actually make a really good play here, and it's probably the best play of the game. Very subtle, but it's very nice. So BKC is going to send in Breloom right here, and like I just mentioned, because first of all, I know BKC is good, and he's not going to run Adamant Breloom with 3 attacks. It's 4-3 attacks anyway. I mean, I'm not a DPP expert, but I think that set's really bad compared to the Jolly variant. Like if you're just going to run Adamant, run Sub Punch. But BKC sends out Breloom right here, knowing that it's highly unlikely that he's able to take out Infernape with a Mach Punch. So you're thinking, well, why does he just send this in? Well, he's going to go double to Jirachi to get Infernape in range of Mach Punch after a Life Orb Recoil, which is what he pretty much has to do, and then hope that either like Stone Edge hits. I'm thinking that he has Stone Edge. That's just what my gut tells me. I don't know for certain, but I'd like to believe that he has Stone Edge. Either way, if he has like Facade or something, then I think... What does he have to beat Swampert? He has like... I don't know, maybe he has Facade instead, I don't know. Or maybe he has Seed Bomb. I don't know, because now that I'm looking at his team, it's... also, it's the ADV Legend HP Grab Swampert. Okay, but I'm digressing, so... Breloom comes in, and he's trying to bait Infernape to take another round of Life Orb Recoil and go to Jirachi so that it's set up for a potential Breloom sweep. But what M-Dragon's going to do is read that play and counteract right there by going to Dragonite. So that his Infernape stays out of Mach Punch range. Very nice play. And M-Dragon took, like... He took a good, like, 80 seconds in real life to make that play, so... that was a very nice play from M-Dragon. Very nice. The counteract BKC is a good play right there, too. I probably wouldn't have thought of that. I probably would have just been like, well, Mach Punch doesn't kill. I just gotta hope for the high roll or something. But he makes a smart play right there, and then M-Dragon reads that smart play, which is what makes even more impressive. But Dragonite does stay asleep. Keep in mind it's burned 2 sleep turns at this point, and Jirachi is able to get a Calm Mind off. Now, he's just gonna go for the Psychic right there, hoping to take out Dragonite. Hoping that it doesn't wake up. Dragonite, as you see, is faster, which just confirms that the Jirachi is pretty slow, very bulky, and that the Dragonite probably has a lot of speed. I don't know how much speed it would run. Maybe max speed with Adamant. Like I said, I don't know if Jolly makes sense. And then Clefable's going to come in to deal with that. BKC goes for Psychic, hoping that the Dragonite stays asleep or just to hit whatever the switch-in is. And the switch-in is Clefable, and they're just gonna start sitting here and Calm Minding. So I'm gonna skip ahead because there's nothing really intellectual for me to add. They're just gonna set up Calm Minds, and actually, hold on, I could talk about this a little bit. So they're setting up Calm Minds, right? And we're getting towards the end of the game. So before I go on, I'm just gonna talk about what this exchange means, because obviously they're just Calm Minding, so there's nothing intellectual there for me to add. So one of these two has to win this Calm Mind war, right? So this war, if BKC wins, definitely favors him, because at this point, Jirachi is already at +6. So Infernape, unless it gets a crit Fire Blast, can't kill. I mean, Close Combat probably does a decent little chunklet, but Jirachi is physically defensive invested. So I wouldn't imagine that Close Combat does anywhere over 40%, and then Psychic is obviously a KO. And then with Dragonite, he has to hope that he wakes up. It basically comes down to RNG. So if BKC can win this exchange and he's above, like, let's say 37% or something, again, I don't know how much CC does to Jirachi. I'll throw that math up after the game, but assuming that BKC can live Infinite close combat, then he pretty much just wins the game if he wins this exchange, which he's actually favored to do as long as no crits come down, because Psychic and Serene Grace will give him spit F drops, and he's also more likely to get the crit. Now that doesn't make sense, but because he's attacking first, that means he's more likely to get the crit first, if that makes sense. I don't know if that does or not, but like each turn they both have an equal chance to get a crit, right? But because he goes first, his chance to get a crit is more likely to happen first when they're attacking each other. Plus BKC, if he gets lucky with some spit F drops, can do more damage to Clefable. He can out-damage Clefable. So he should mathematically, he's more likely to come out of the situation, but of course it comes down to fringe RNG, like all great Combined Wars do. So M-Dragon, he still can win, but it's not the end of the world. If, well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. It's not the end of the world if M-Dragon... Nah. I don't know what I was trying to say. But basically, if BKC wins this, he's really likely to just win the game. If M-Dragon wins this, he's also really likely to win the game, although it's not the end of the world for BKC, that's what I'm trying to say. But it becomes a little more dicey, because then he has to go for superpower on Clefable, which means that Infinite can still live. So it comes down to like crits and all that good stuff. But or if he misses like a Fire Blast or something, or because I think he can live a CC from that range again. My DPP calcs and all that is really rusty, because I don't think I've played serious high level DPP in at least 2 years. But these guys are just like calm minding and doing that stuff. But it's fine, it's what they have to do to win. But like I said, I'm pretty sure basically it comes down to whoever wins this Calm Mind War. BKC he can still win. He has a higher chance to win if he loses this war than if M-Dragon does. But this is basically what it comes down to. I think this almost ends, actually. Like, I think M-Dragon crits this turn? Oh no, I spoiled it. Oh no. Okay, is this it? Is this it? No. Okay. We're just gonna skip ahead a little bit. They're wishing. They're doing their thing. Oh, this doesn't happen for a while. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, so they did their Calm Mind thing, and unfortunately M-Dragon gets the crit. No judicial system justice. I was just saying how BKC is more likely to win this Calm Mind War. BKC has been the unfortunate, he's been on the unfortunate end of hacks for most of the game. So if he that would have been a good time to have it benefit him, but it benefits M-Dragon instead. Sometimes it's just not your day, and like I said, BKC has to go for superpower right here, and BKC drops the dot. You've got to be joking. Obviously not happy by this, but it's been a rough game for him. And M-Dragon gets he gets even more lucky right here. He goes for Sleep Talk, reads that he's going to stay asleep, and then gets the extreme speed up. Doesn't get an Earthquake off or anything like that. And that's going to be the end of the game. It's highly unfortunate. BKC played pretty well as always. Pretty well. That phrase doesn't sound right in my head, but we just said it, so we'll rock with it. But he lost, unfortunately, because M-Dragon got lucky. M-Dragon played pretty well himself. He definitely made quite a few nice plays. But he got lucky to back that up, and sometimes that's just what you gotta do. Sometimes you just get lucky. So I'm sorry this narration wasn't quite up to par, but like I said, I did it once. I would have rather used my first one, but my mic wasn't plugged in, so I fucked up. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, all that shit. No, shout outs to Black Blastoise. And I'm out.